Permutations and Combinations, Part 1. Evaluate the expression P6 choose 3. P, in this case, represents the number of permutations. Now, permutations are the number of ways to select objects from a group of objects when the order in which we're selecting matters. For this problem, we have 6 objects that we're choosing from, and we're only selecting 3 of them. So the second number in the pair represents the number of objects that you're choosing. The way we solve is we use a formula for permutations. And the formula is Pn choose r equals n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So the first number represents n. So in this case, n equals 6. And then the second number represents r. So in this case, r equals 3. And we'll just plug in the numbers for n and r and solve the problem. So we have 6 factorial divided by 6 minus 3 factorial. And we'll do the subtraction in the parentheses first. So 6 minus 3 is 3. And this becomes 6 factorial divided by 3 factorial. Now, if we were to write this out, this is the same as 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 3 times 2 times 1. And we can cancel like factors on the top and bottom. So the 3 times 2 times 1 cancels on the top and bottom, and we're left with the 6 times 5 times 4 on the top. When we multiply 6 times 5 times 4 together, we get 120. So the answer to our problem is 120. Evaluate the expression C, 12 choose 7. C represents combinations. A combination is when you're selecting a number of objects from a group of objects when the order in which you select does not matter. Here we want to calculate selecting 7 items from a group of 12 items. So we have 12 things and we're only selecting 7. For combinations, we have a formula of C n choose r, which equals n factorial divided by n minus r factorial times r factorial. Again, the first number in the pair represents n, so n is 12, and the second number represents r, so r is 7. And we'll just plug in the values into the formula and solve. This becomes 12 factorial divided by 12 minus 7 factorial times 7 factorial. First, we'll do the subtraction in parentheses. So I have 12 factorial divided by 5 factorial times 7 factorial. So on the top, we have 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. On the bottom, we have 5 factorial, which is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and that's being multiplied to 7 factorial, which is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. I always like to take the larger factorial and cancel the larger factorial on the top and bottom. So here I'm going to take the 7 times 6 times 5 and so forth and cancel it with those numbers on the bottom. So now we're left with 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 divided by 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And if we were to multiply 12 times 11 times 10 times 9 times 8 on our calculator, we would get a value of 95,040. And then if we were to multiply the 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 on the bottom, we would get 120. Lastly, we just want to divide the 95,040 by 120 to get our final answer of 792.